Good evening, Venerable Dharma brothers and sisters. My name is Denise. A warm welcome to tonight's Dharma talk titled Shan Art. Tonight's talk is jointly hosted by Shan Singapore and Buddhist Light Association Singapore. I'd like to request for your kind cooperation to ensure that your mobile is turned to a silent mode. Thank you very much. All art is artifice. When we look at a painting or statue, we thought that it's real, but it is just paper with color or a piece of stone that is being carved. Guest speaker for tonight. Great pleasure to introduce Venerable Jyoti. She holds many roles at Shan. Currently, she's the Art Gallery Coordinator at Nantian Institute. She was the lecturer at Shan Chongling University English Buddhist College, editorial assistant at Shan Buddhist Canon Research. Venerable Jyoti. Dharma brothers and sisters, kindly take a seat. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back for those who have attended my talk yesterday. And then for those who are new over here today, well, just be prepared, okay? So they know what they're laughing at. Okay, now, just before we start, you see this marshmallow? Yeah, this is a special treat from the organizer. Well, later you'll know why. Everything don't come free. Okay, there's no free lunch, but there will be free dinner. Okay, let's see. Just for those, for the sake of those who have not been here yesterday, just a very brief outline, introduction of what I'm going to say for today. Basically, this is my main theme, talking about Shan, Shan Buddhism, and how it related to our heart or mind, and then to the art. And of course, I'll make use again with some of the Guang and how it relates back to your daily life. Now let's go on to the slide. Okay, this one, which was a drawing of Bodhidharma. Okay, why I've chosen this is because from his look, and of course with all those simple strokes, it best describes what Bodhidharma is like. So that's why we make use of this. I mentioned that yesterday. Okay, now let's go on with this. What happened is that this Chan Master Long Tan Chongxing, before he became a monk, he set up a stand selling cakes next to this Chan Master Tian Huang Dao Wu. But he was really poor, he don't have a place to live and whatever. So he decided, ask help from this Master Dao Wu and give him a room to stay. And to show his gratitude, Chongxing sent 10 cakes to Master Dao Wu every day. Now, what does this cake got to do with my marshmallow over here? Any idea? Okay, so what happens is that, of course, I don't know what kind of cake they are using. I'm using marshmallow. Now you can open up and try and taste it. Please. I hope every one of you have taken your dinner already. Okay? So we have extra. You don't have enough? Yes. We have some more. Okay, Now, let's see, this marshmallow. When you eat, what's your feelings toward this thing? Sweet? What else? Soft? What else? Gratitude, okay. Some more? What else?
Question mark.
Question mark. You remember your that sound of one hand yesterday? Okay, so when you're eating this biscuit, this marshmallow, what's that all up in your mind? If you have been applying the sound of one hand that I mentioned yesterday, you know that, okay, this tastes sweet, I like this, I don't like this. That's why I'm very full, I just taken my dinner, I don't even want to eat it. That kind of things, all that kind of discriminative mind started creeping out. And then you're thinking, hey, what's up over here? Why should she give us this marshmallow? So some of you may be asking this kind of question. So if you have been thinking about that, sorry, you already fall into my trap. Yeah. Actually, I don't have any special purpose and meaning. Just enjoy it. That's what Chan is like. You don't try to see, hey, where does they get this from? Oh, what's the brand name? You start to have all these kind of thoughts and ideas. And likewise, how does this go with this Kongan? Okay, so to show his gratitude, Chongxing, he will send 10 cakes to Master Tao Wu every day. So what will you do? You start come here to volunteer yourself as a form of gratitude. Someone just now mentioned gratitude, right? Yeah, remember? Okay. So after taking all the 10 cakes, funny thing that Master Tao Wu would do is that he would ask his attendant to take one and give back to Chongxing. Okay. So you give one back to this Chongxing. Why? If you are the one who gives a person 10 cakes, it means that you can afford it, right? So why should you return me one every day? Then it does make him feel very puzzled. So after so many days, he decided, okay, let's see what's going on. What's the reason? So he telling him, okay, the cakes are my gift, okay? He said, straight from my heart. It's out of my sincerity because you give me a room to stay. You let me, have a stand, selling cakes over there. That's how I try to show my appreciation, my gratitude to you. So why you keep on returning one to me? What's the reason behind? Three, four, five, six, I don't know, maybe more than that. Then you return it. Hey, why you return this biscuit to me? And then the thing is that if you can give me something, why can't I give you something in return? This is fair. This is a very fair world. So Chongxing said that, well, since I can give 10 to you, why you care so much that I just give you one? You know, I'm taking 10, 9, you know, and I give you 1, so what's so big deal about that? So this seems like a number games coming on 10, 1, that kind of things, like what the title over here is talking about. So Tao will laugh, no? Are you complaining that 1 is too few? Okay, if I haven't complained that 10 is too many, how can you still complain that 1 is too much? Okay, so what's wrong is there to restore to you what originally belongs to you. So this is this main idea. So Tao will say, what's wrong is there to restore to you what originally belongs to you. This, again, if you take it literally, the word, you may think that he is referring to that particular biscuit. But we know that he's not referring to the biscuit. He's referring to something more. Something more that actually belongs to Chongqing. So what is that? Idea. Start thinking already. So Chongqing, he was like, hey, what are you trying to do? You must be saying something. He is very smart. Chongqing is a very smart guy. And he find that, you must have some message that you want to bring it to me. So he decided to renounce, and he asked him for further advice, what's going on. And so Master Tao will explain to him, okay, 1 give rise to 10, 10 give rise to 100, and can even give rise to millions. All dharmas originate from 1. So the idea of this thing of why he made use of this biscuit to explain to him, he actually is trying to pass a message to him. But initially Chongqing didn't understand why he returned this 1. Because this 1 biscuit has many meanings in it. Not only that it has like make up from different causes and conditions that make this biscuit possible, but also with this biscuit, it actually established a kind of relationship. Like for example, relationship with this Tao, and also relationships to whoever buy those biscuits from this Chongqing. So this 1 actually can reach out to 10, and of course from 10 to millions. That's the idea of this 1. It's just like what we say that this even one single grain of rice is due to different many causes and conditions. And within this rice, you can see a world inside it, despite that it is such a small grain. So this 1 small piece of biscuit actually can give rise to 10, and from 10 give rise to 100, and even to millions. So it's a kind of ripple effects that you can't see, and the interconnectedness between these things. Within this biscuit, you never know that it has so many things inside it. Of course, the usual one we will say, like for example, the one who make it, the factories, the one who do the packagings, and then the shops who sell, and then the one who go and buy it and then send it all the way here to Shan. And then of course, there must be you. Without you present over here, eating it, then you cannot make things complete. So for those who haven't eaten, you can bring it back home. Okay. Now the Koan shows what? It shows the oneness of self and others. Like just now I say, because he made this biscuit, he sold it to somebody, and also he gave it to Tao. Is a kind of showing oneness of self and others. So through this small little biscuit, you can see the kind of relationship which maybe if you don't come for this lesson, you may not know that how great this particular marshmallow is. It has so many meanings behind it. It has such a great significance within a small piece of marshmallow. And there's no no duality between the subject and object. So it's not just like this is me, Jyoti, and this is marshmallow. You couldn't really see a very clear-cut line anymore. If you understand Shan Buddhism, they are actually interrelated. And since they are interrelated, this is not as obvious as whether there's a subject and object. And by allowing Chongqing to stay in his temple, Master Tao demonstrated what is mine is yours. So this temple may belong to this Tao. However, he let this Chongqing to stay. So it's a demonstration of what is mine is also yours. So what happened is that back in Guang, Taiwan, my teacher, Venerable Master Xing, he always say that Guang is mine. When he said it's mine, he means that saying on behalf of each other. So every time you ask a question, Guang is whose? Then we will have to answer and say, oh, that is mine. Because why he says so? Guang doesn't come just because of one person. It's not established due to one person. It is through teamwork with so many devotees, so many people, and including his disciples, to make Guang possible. So he will be very happy whenever, whoever, tell him that Guang is mine. So the idea is similar to what Tao is trying to demonstrate, that what is mine is yours. If you don't have these feelings that Guang is yours, you always think that, hey, this is Guang business. It doesn't got to do with me. I'm not going to bother about that. When you can see the relationship between you and Guang, then you will happily say that Guang is mine. If not, you will always think that, oh, this is just a place, it's just a temple worship. It's a place whereby I ask for blessing. However, you will never know that you are actually one of the people there, and you are also one of them who can offer people blessing. You can always offer people help. So you become one with Guang. And when Master Tao accepted the text and returned one to Chongqing, demonstrated that what is yours is mine too. So when you come over here, you come here as either as a devotee coming here for prayer, or you coming here as a volunteer. We also see yours as mine. Like what Venerable Master Xing, he always say that be a volunteers. I know that sounds a bit funny in English. That means for people like us, we must first of all be your volunteer. So maybe you are volunteering your service. However, we also have to volunteer our service first. So what is yours is also mine. And then because of this, Chongqing awakened to the non-duality of many and few, whether it's 1 or 10. There's no differentiations between I giving you 10 and you giving me 1. And the differences between Chongqing and Tao. And also the mind and matter, there's been the mind and the biscuit. And with and without. So he managed to get through these kind of ideas of being good and bad. So like what I mentioned yesterday, when we hear the sound outside, I like it, I dislike it. So this is sweet, this is sour, this is soft, and this is hard. So one goes beyond this. But does it mean that when I eat this one, I'm without realizing this is soft? Does it mean that it's non-duality? It doesn't mean that you don't feel that this is soft, then it's called non-duality. You still realize that this is soft. You still have this ability to recognize. However, this is the very first thought that comes to mind. Yes, soft, that's soft. but you don't have the second thought coming in. You try to interpret, the softness. I don't know whether you study science, how you're going to measure the softness of a marshmallow. Going to that kind of extent. So when this kind of second thoughts come into play, then it's actually moving from seeing things as what it is. You already go beyond it. You are starting again what I mentioned earlier, all this interpretation, analysis, inference coming into play. So how does this come back to our daily practice? So, like just now we talked about 1 and 10. So we get to start with these numerals. Okay, so like, I don't know what's the COE price right now. Those, sorry? 60 plus. Yeah, because that day I was like, they are driving me to visit my uncle, and then they start telling me about all these things about COEs and whatever, all these numerals that make all Singaporean hearts start to beat, right? You want to buy cars, and then I think there's a new loan system, right? You can only loan 50%, right? Something like that. Right. So this kind of new policies that the government come out that affect your life, well, does numerals matter? Yes, indeed it does. We cannot say that, okay, after learning Chan Buddhism, I don't bother about COE, I don't care, I want to borrow 90%, the Venerable says this is called Chan Buddhism, I don't care, but no bank will bother about you. They will only allow you 50% of the loan. Now this is a very real situation. How are you going to work with this kind of numerals with your daily life? And then you start to feel unhappy because now I cannot renew my car, right? I cannot get a new one because last time I can use 90%, to get 90% loan. Now I cannot. So you start feeling, oh, I'm getting poor now. And then things like even children. Okay, putting the children in the top schools. I remember the government a few years back, they decided not to show the ranking of the schools. Last time they used to rank which schools in top and second, third, all these things. So they decided not to rank. However, I think 2 years ago, my brother sent an email to me. Somewhere, some website actually showed the ranking, right? Something like that 2 years ago. And okay, out of curiosity, I tried to click into the link, but it was gone. So somebody has already stopped it from, again, trying so hard to rank the schools. That's what, even my brother is like, he get excited over this kind of rankings. So the parents become sad when their children don't get to the top schools, like nearby. I know I have friends who purposely go to the primary schools. A few years before they enter into primary school, they start becoming volunteers, right?
Or move house.
Oh yeah, move their house. And all these things is really getting us crazy just because we want to make sure that our children get the top. Again, this is numerals, about figures. That's what we want. They want to have a head start, to think that this is good and whatever. So this attachment gives rise to what? Give rise to the kind of unhappiness, worries, uncertainties. Children also become stressful. The duality arises up from our mind, not from someone or something. I remember, like last time, not now, because now you can't do much. Last time they used to have long queues. Now I don't know whether they still have long queues. In front of the primary schools, trying to queue for a vacant seat. So back in my time, my mom, she heard that, okay, the school that my cousin is studying is not that bad. She actually don't know which is good school. That time don't have such a top school. But all she heard was that was a good school, and that was an English school, English medium school. So what she did was that one day before the registration, she went over to stay in my grandmother's house because the school is near my grandmother's house. So that she will get to them first. So even at that time, that generation, you also already have people so kiasu. See, so our parents already set the kind of precedence, trying to get the best for their children. However, this kind of anxieties, because we have this kind of attachment. Of course, I appreciate my mom's hard work. Okay, if not, I won't be able to speak English over here. I'll be in a Chinese medium school. Okay. So this is the duality arises out from our mind, not from someone or something. So we think that, okay, this is good, we must have it. We make sure our children get into the best schools, no neighborhood schools, no way, that kind of thing. I believe there are many parents here, you can feel what I say, the kind of anxieties. So that's the part about this marshmallow. How does a marshmallow got to do with your daily life? Now, any question with regard to the biscuit? Second serving? No? Okay. Oh yeah, my old Chan master over there. Oh, feeling good. This is another one. Another one by this, again by this Master Tao Wu. And he used to cry out, I feel great, he feel very happy. However, one day when he was on a sick bed, then he decided, okay, to enter into extinction on what you call nirvana. He said, so painful. Oh, I feel really terrible, very painful. Then the temple supervisor, go and bring me some wine to drink. Bring me some meat to eat. Oh Yama is coming to get me. Okay, Oh Yama is the one, what we call in Chinese, Yan Dong Wang. Okay, the person who is in charge of the hell, will come over and then try to get hold of him. So you're thinking that, hey, this person, is he a practitioner? At one time he said that he's very happy, and then before the death bed, then he started to say that, I feel so painful. So is he a awakened being? You start to doubt already, right? You feel doubtful. If one day, I don't know, if one day someone, a great monk, which you respected, suddenly one day say, no, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. And it's so painful, that kind of thing. Then you start to doubt about him. So the supervisor say, okay, Reverend, all your life you cry out how good and how you feel, and now why you cry about the pain, so much pain that you suffer? Then the master said, okay, let's see, was I right back then? Or am I right now? Which one is correct? When I say happy, am I correct? Or when I say I'm not happy, am I correct? Which one is correct? What do you think? Let's survey. What do you think?
I think both are right. It's probably at that moment, what does the person experience, and then they're speaking of in their mind how they feel at that point in time.
Okay. Don't you have doubt about this, Master?
I think this was what he's thinking of right at the moment.
No, because I chose him. Because he's someone I chose, that's why he must be a good person, right? What do you think? Same, because it's Chan. Okay. Have a preconceived idea already. So what do you think?
There's no right.
There's no right or wrong. Okay. So no right or wrong. So The supervisor was speechless, so you're not that bad. Oh, you give me some reply, you're not speechless. And the master just pushed away his wooden pillow and entered into Nibbana. So sometimes you may hear people saying this, and then another moment he's saying that. It may be because he or she is contradict herself or himself. However, over here, is it that he is contradicting himself? Let's see. Okay, so the explanation behind, I feel great is because he is really feeling very, very happy. That's why he says he's happy. And when he is feeling painful, his suffering at his utmost, so he just said. So personally, I feel that it's like you have to be able to see what your own feeling is like at that particular moment. You really feel happy, then you say you're happy. When you're feeling painful, you say you're painful. We know there are people who tend to hide their emotion. I believe some of you do have friends like this, or even maybe you yourself are one of them. Whoever, when you're sad, in front of other people, you try to be cheerful and happy. However, once you're back into home alone, in your bedroom, then you finally face yourself, that you feel sad. However, over here you see Chan Master Tao, he don't care. He don't need to do that only in his bedroom. He do this in front of anybody. When he feel happy, he happy. When he feel sad, he feels sad. That's why sometimes even for me, when I saw someone, they feel very sad, painful because their parents pass away or because they are sick or whatever. I just tap on their shoulder and say, it's alright to cry. I just tell them, never mind, it's alright to cry. To let go of your emotion, to face your emotion, to see that now you're feeling sad. I think there's nothing to hide. So that's something that we can learn from him. When he's happy, he say happy. When he's pain, he's pain. But again over here, what about the second thought? Does he have a second thought? When he is feeling painful, does he has that kind of feeling of angry? He dislike it? He hate to be painful? This has to do with our mind again. So you can feel pain, but you don't need to get angry with yourself. So sometimes you feel very, very, very painful, and then someone try to talk to you, you feel very irritated, and then you're having a headache, and then somebody playing loud music, again you feel very irritated because of the pain. You already have this kind of anger, unhappiness, which is deeply inside you. So once there's something external to triggers you, maybe loud noises, the children playing, being noisy, whatever, immediately your kind of hatred will arise. So you are not really doing what Tao is doing. That's means when painful, just feel painful. That's all. You don't add on some other things, like what we talk about the sutra when we talk about the second arrow, not having the second thoughts that's coming. So somebody has already hurt you with the first arrow. However, when you start to think why he want to hurt me, why he's so cruel to me, these are the second and third arrow that you add onto yourself, not other people. When you're sick, when you're feeling uncomfortable, that's how it is. So once, there was once I was having a bad cough. And while I'm coughing, I suddenly realized that because the cough caused discomfort on my throat. And I tried to cough real hard. And this is not just a usual action of trying to cough real hard. I know that when I'm doing this action, my intention is to get rid of this discomfort. It's a kind of, maybe there's elements of hatred, unhappiness, dissatisfaction about this discomfort that has imposed on me. So when I'm coughing, I really cough very hard. And once I realize that kind of actions, my reason for coughing so loud is due to this kind of hatred or whatever. It was like, I was really shocked. I was shocked by myself. Hey, well, actually even simple things like coughing, you can see yourself. You can see that you have that kind of hatred within yourself. Despite that, you don't have a so-called physical enemies over here trying to hurt you. It's an invisible one, maybe some germs or whatever, causing discomfort. You see it, and so the idea over here, why I want to share this particular poem, also partly because of my personal experience once I was having a bad cough. So when you feel painful, that's it. You just stick on to that and don't add on certain other elements into it. So was I right back then or am I right now? There's no happiness outside of suffering, and there's no suffering outside of happiness. Like the example I mentioned about the coughing, there's actually no such thing as happiness or suffering. It's just how you're going to perceive sickness, illness. If you perceive sickness or illness as something, condition arising, okay, maybe I took too heaty food or whatever, I've not been taking care of my health, that's why it gives rise to that kind of illness and whatever. If you can see it as that and take it literally as it is, you don't feel as bad. You bodily, yes, that's how I'm going to feel. I'm going to feel bad, feeling not comfortable. But mentally wise, I just accept this disease and illnesses. So the master pushed away his wooden pillow. It means suffering and happiness have the same source. It's all up to your mind, how you're going to see suffering and happiness. So Chan Buddhism in daily practice. Once I read in an article written by this Professor Zheng Shiyan. Maybe some of you have ever heard his speech before, his Dharma talk. And he has a very wonderful mother, a very wise old lady. She mentioned something like that. One day, Professor Zheng asked about his mother. Hey mom, how are you going on? Because her mother is really old. And then she said something. As long as we recognize that life is bound to have some burden and pain that come with old age, then one would not feel unbearable. So her reply is, she's happy. As long as I put aside, that kind of pains that come with my kneecap, and then maybe my bone aching and whatever, other than that, I'm happy. So she's a very wise lady. She knows how to differentiate, what is supposed to be. As an old person, you may encounter, you may have to face with it. You don't keep on dwelling as what you are when you're young. So like what I observed, most of the old people, when they couldn't walk, they actually refused to sit on a wheelchair. They still have this attachment that I want to have my mobility, I want to be able to move around. Why? We want to be able to control. So the moment you are willing to sit on the wheelchair, that's means you already declare being defeated. That you are no longer in control of your body, you lose control of yourself already. However, we forget that this body is actually going to deteriorate one day. So you have to You have no choice. You have to take the wheelchair and you keep falling on. So one day, Venerable Master Xing, when he was sitting on the wheelchair, he happily said that, oh, now it's so nice. I don't need to walk. You know, there's somebody, you know, wheeling him around. So this is how a great master would think and feels when he faced with old age. When he faced with his own physical immobilities, he don't make this thing very angry or whatever. That's why he's able to write the one-stroke calligraphy. We have an museum in the Nanking Institute. What we did was that we got some papers and brush, and then what we did was that we invite the people who come to visit our museum to put on, you know, blindfold and then use the brush to write. You imagine if you cannot see, how are you going to write all those words? And well, the response is very good. They say that, oh yeah, this particular interaction give them has a feel what it is like if a person who cannot see and yet has to, you know, write all these words in very proper proportion, you know, so nice. It's amazing, you know, given the fact that he has this diabetes, his hand is shaking, and due to, again, diabetes, his eyesight couldn't see as clear. He still can overcome it. He used his mind. It's his mind that is in control of the body and not so much that the body will control him. He can just say that, okay, now I have 1,000 of disciples. I can don't do all these things. But he has this, because there are people who actually appreciate, who love his calligraphy. Okay? So that's what she did, was that just live life with it. You have to live with your old age. And do not complain and pity. Just make full use of whatever time you still have. So now, we're moving on to the next one. Again, talking about realizing one in its nature. And this is interesting. On fire. So what happened was that this Shan, right? One day he called up this Chan master Shan. He called up to this Shan. He said, "Fire, fire!" Imagine when you hear fire, you know, the first thing you try to run out of place here. And then San Gong replied, said, "No, the fire is very far off." So the master summoned him and said, "Acharya." San Gong responded, "Yes." So the master said, "So it's not far off." What does that mean? You know, the very first time I read about this, I was like, hey, what is this trying to say? I don't understand. And again, we cannot look at it just by the surface, what is going on, the conversation between the two of them. So let's see the comparison. Probably we can understand better. When Shan, he called out fire, what it means that living for a long period in the three realms of transmigration, just like living in a house on fire, enduring that detention and bearing that long suffering. So that is what he meant by fire. However, when this Shan, who replied him, said the fire is far off, he is what? He is replying in response to the word, the very surface value of the word, but not the deeper meaning which Shan is trying to say. So he is just rushing wildly after the words. He is taking it at face value. No, that's why it's just like what we say in Chinese, like 鸡同鸭讲, the chicken talking to the duck. So there's no communication. Actually, there's no actual communication between the two of them. or what we always used to say, wrong channel. So both of them in the wrong channel. One is FM and one is AM channel. So the next one, when the master called him Acharya Ik, so it's again he's talking about is to call him out of the three realms. This has the meaning of like teacher, okay? And again, like what he did last time, he just treated it as what? As surface value. So he just said yes. So if so, what the master said that so it's not far off. He realized that communication breakdown. There's no way he can communicate with his disciples because he burns up fiercely, and therefore he said so it's not far off. He don't get the message. We can always refer this back to the Lotus Sutra. So maybe some of you ever heard about this Lotus Sutra. There's a particular parable called the parables of the burning house. So this is the burning house parable in the Lotus Sutra where the fire is. What does this mean? Okay, within these parables of the burning house, just for some of them who don't know about this Lotus Sutra, there's this particular old house which is large, old, decaying, rotten, and then you see all these things. And then with even creatures, what kind of, a lot of creatures that are inside there. So it's a very dangerous place for a person to stay there. And what does this parables is trying to say is that it's similar to the threefold realms or the threefold worlds that we are staying. So there are basically three. One is the desire, and then another one is form, and the last one is formless. So let's see what is this. So this is the desire realm, which right now, where we are, all the human beings, is about the beings with desire for sex, for affections, for form, for body, etc. And it is from the lowest realm of hell to the sixth heavenly realm. So human beings falls into one of these six realms. And in the form realms, which is much higher up, it says is free from desire for sex, affection, food, but still attached to the form. And the next one is from the first dhyana, heaven to the ultimate form heaven. This is kind of, well, you can actually reach that stage if you go through the meditative practice, okay? And then the next one is the formless realm, beings with feelings, perception, volitions, and consciousness, however without form. And then the four formless heaven. So this is a very rough idea what the four realms is all about. So this fire itself is not enough just simply to put out a fire. Of course, I'm explaining through the context of the Lotus Sutra. Now, the Lotus Sutra talks about the three vehicles. Okay, one of these the Sravaka's vehicles, which is talking about extinction practiced by the Arahant, is but get out of fire. Basically, the Lotus Sutra idea is talking about the Ikayana, talking about the one vehicles. So here it talking about the defilements. That means fire is related to our defilements, like birth, death, old age, sickness, and all kinds of things, suffering, stupidity, misunderstanding, and other three poisons. So, of course, the house itself, within this house itself, this burning house, it has this kind of various form of escapisms, prevent us from confronting reality of danger. So within this burning house, we find some fun, we can enjoy whatever. And because of this kind of enjoyment, we didn't realize the danger of this place. So you see, what do you call that? In Singapore we have one, but a real huge big one.
Fire.
The one that we have?
No, the one in the Sentosa.
No,
Universal Studios.
Universal Studio, okay. And then, you know, various forms of escapism preventing us from confronting realities of danger. And of course, you have this kind of sensual pursuit. So, what you want, give me more Fridays. I know, that's where, okay, you have your weekends, you don't need to work on weekends, so give me more Friday. But that's not possible. However, we have this kind of idea, wrong concept. We hope for what? Long holidays, we hope to have fun and all kinds of materialistic and sensual pursuits. So our way of life, for most people, okay, maybe not, I'm not sure about you all, but they go through this kind of life. Okay. So go through life in a mechanical and passive manner.